Yo, welcome back to Projekt ZRA here, and this is Rishev in another marathon episode number 20, sorry, not 20, 47. We have a lot of work to get through, and we're gonna start off in this video by continuing off where we left off about the project itself and all its behind the scenes technology and features that we've been trying to roll out and make edits to. Particularly with OBS Studio and some of the features that we tried to roll out over on our videos, on some integrations with chat over the live stream. So chat overlay, having new borders, new scenes, new sources, and trying to manage all that alongside with the aesthetics and the general interactivity of the video and live stream experience. So what we're going to do is just cover. This is really much in tandem with the previous video, which is actually exclusively limited over to Patreon. That's not something that I'm willing to divulge so easily because it actually goes into all the sources and the settings I have. But if I decide otherwise, you may find it even on YouTube. That would be probably a couple months down the road, though, I think, when I've decided that it's time to release it for the public. But overall, that's something more private. And this one, however, is connected, very directly related to all those assets that I cover, almost like a how-to guide behind the scenes on OBS Studio, except that this one's public, and that's because I'm just going through the tabs really and knocking off all the research that I did into overlays. So this video specifically covers all the research, online websites and platforms, and all the searches that I went through to get a better understanding of how to incorporate a chat overlay, how to, if there were other options I could use to get a third-party chat integrated into my videos. And so, without further ado, let's just dive into it. That was a lot of introductory stuff. Long story short, this video is connected to the other one. That one's locked behind Patreon, and this one is actually available freely on YouTube. So let's just start off with probably about 12 tabs here. We're going to start off here on Medium, and this is actually Prism Live Studio's official Medium blog. And the reason why they have this is they're using Medium as a form of communication with their customers. And I think that's really great because the developers themselves are releasing guides and tutorials. You can see on the right hand side how to use ChatGPT for IU, UX. So all this stuff here is actually about from other creators. You're using ChatGPT wrong, and so on and so forth. Basically more design and tech stuff from other related creators. But this one specifically from Prism Live Studio, their official channel. So you can see up here, published in Prism Live Studio. Let me make sure that the scene isn't the correct one. I'm in display right now, and I think I can leave it like that. But when I first started, right now we're in backdrop, but we can switch over to display and showcase the entire website if we really want to right now. So mobile 2.6.0 update. Let me just make sure, yeah, it does work. We are pleased to announce the most recent, and there's a smiley face. You can see they're very upfront and personal. This is a very old article dating back to December 29th, 2020. So it's almost 2.5 years ago. And you can scroll all the way down here. The version of Android is 2.6.0, January 12, 2021. In this update, the following features of many people requesting have been included. Live web page-based integrated chat widget using Prism mobile apps, camera source, and other performance stability improvements. So a lot of stuff. And we scroll down. We're not going to read everything, of course, but if you wanted to, you can see accordingly we have prepared the web page-based integrated chat widget, which basically allows you to conglomerate all your different platforms of chat from YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all into a single app, into a single interface that you can read from and interact with. It's very nice. It's exclusive to Prism Live Studio, and we'll get to that in a moment. But you can see here they have included images. You can change the color. The lock layers show different fonts and different styles. Okay. Again, more of a zoomed out shot. How you can resize and rearrange everything. And then we have, of course, the ability. You can also for you to use third-party web chat widgets that are not necessarily from Naver or Prism Live Studio. So besides, you can fill a chat widget with video and use it, so on and so forth. Highly recommended you update to the most recent version at that time, which was 2.6. Obviously, right now we are far, far ahead. And then below here, they have further features rolled at the same time using the Prism mobile app camera source and Prism desktop app and so on and so forth, which we're not going to cover because that's actually on an unrelated topic. This entire video is basically running through all the things that we had to research for. And what did we have to research? So this is actually one of the last things that we ended up searching up before we ended up with the conclusion that we're not going to be able to connect our OBS Studio to the Prism Live Studio integrated chat. And the reason why we wanted to do that was we want to find an easy way to show and display on our videos and our live streams basically all the messages that are coming in from people from all different platforms like Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and so on and so forth. And we couldn't do that, unfortunately. And so we're just going to settle with YouTube. And so what I'm going to do is just hop over to one of the platforms here. Okay. After logging into Prism Live Studio. So we hopped over to this platform over here, of course, which is just Projekt ZRA, of course, on YouTube. And there is the live stream right here. So I would click into the current live stream. And then while it's running, what you can do is I'm going to pause it. Actually, I don't want it to run all the way through. I believe this is also a video recording of the previous live stream. It's not the current one. But you can pop out the chat by going down here. You can see here the marathon, the title and everything. And then go down here to the bottom right. And there's 3 dots on the chat if you are the creator of the chat, of course, a manager or moderator. So you go here, right click, and then the menu pops up for community moderation, participants, toggle moderation activity, pop out chat, and you can basically pop out the chat. Very easy, very simple, very straightforward. So you can see here, you can resize everything, of course, stream elements, so on and so forth to your desire, and you can type in stuff, test. Of course, you have stream elements here for me just running some automatic messages. Okay. So we can close this tab, and we can also head on over. Well, this is more reaction content. We'll cover that in the future. But well, you got a glimpse of that though. Something funny actually related to VR chat that I want to cover. Anyway, so that's basically the blog from Prism Live Studio. And how we got there was actually we just searched it up. So we went over to this tab here, and we just typed in Prism Live Studio to get over to their website. Once we do hear some entries, we just binged it instead of Google. It doesn't really matter, and it led us to here. So this is the main homepage, and if I just pull it to the side, you can see more of it. I usually keep the web browser to this side so I don't accidentally click the close button. But live chat, communicate in real time, they're just showing all the features. This is the main one. I scrolled all the way down here because I was very interested. You can see that they display, of course, Twitch, YouTube, all the different platforms, Facebook, Afreeca TV, and also I believe that's like Bandcamp or something, I'm not sure. But they have other effects, like they say, they're marketing beauty effects, they're marketing stable streaming and no worries. Definitely, I feel like that's something that they do quite well. Engage with various sources and effects. Minimal CPU usage, safely broadcast the stream without buffering. Even with Prism, even the heaviest games stay connected. Got stats out there. Okay. Something just popped in my ear. But yeah, so this is the homepage right there. So we can go all the way to the top. Again, one of the key features is to multi-stream to multiple platforms simultaneously, and you can download for PC or for mobile. So I have it downloaded and installed already. So in this tab, basically, I had opened Prism Live Studio. If I press the window tab and I go for Prism, what you'll find here is that it's already installed. So Prism Live Studio is in fact installed. And I was wondering actually what you guys will see if I pull up the start menu. I've seen sources, a bunch of apps by default that are installed in Windows 11. But yeah, once you open the app on Prism Live Studio, which is showcased in the start menu, you can log into different accounts. So your YouTube, your Twitch, your Facebook accounts, and one of them was the one that I needed for YouTube, which is directly linked to my Google account, which is why I have this open up here to showcase that I logged in. Afterwards, logging into Prism Live Studio and running the app, what I was available to do then was to explore the Prism Live Studio app. And they have a lot of, basically their application is based off of OBS Studio. So they just, it's just basically an edited version with Python of OBS Studio. So what you can take a look here is basically I hopped over to their application on desktop and tried to look for a way to capture the link from the integrated web-based chat. And in fact, I couldn't. Unfortunately, they didn't seem to allow any way for us to get the link for their integrated chat, and I think that's just because it's not available. They want that to be an exclusive feature to Prism Live Studio. It's a very good selling point, I believe, and I think that I would agree with that very strongly. So I clicked on Twitch, and basically they have this little widget that pops up for, again, you saw YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and I clicked on the Twitch one. It was the only one that was connected at the time. And one of the things that popped up that Twitch was marketing, so it was literally the interface extracted from Twitch, directly from Twitch itself, not related to Prism, but they were able to synchronize it. And one of the things they marketed on Twitch, of course, was the shield mode thing. So quickly activate powerful safety settings to stop hateful and harassing messages from being spammed in your chat. Hateful, harassing, spam. It's a little bit of an overkill, but definitely that's why I turned it off. You can turn it off and on with a single button here. But here are the features it allows, right? Welcome to the chat room, disabled followers only, disabled slow mode. Those are things that basically turn on if you turn on shield mode. And then you can see down here all the moderation settings. So channel modes, first time chatters, emote chat, followers only chat for 1 month, slow mode, right? Chat verification, allow phone numbers, auto moderation, level 4, so on and so forth. Like a lot of moderation. This one's aggression, bullying, antagonization, threatening, exciting. So it's very, very heavy censorship if you turn this on. Disability, sexuality, misogyny, race, all that kind of stuff, profanity. You know, it gets a little bit, it's quite overkill, but you know, if you're getting rated and stuff, I guess that's really necessary. Okay, so we close that as well, right? And after that, recognizing that on Prism Live Studio we can't extract the chat widget URL link because it just doesn't exist, we just went back to OBS Studio. And so on OBS Studio, we asked ourselves, okay, how are we going to do that? And I figured, you know, I could research it, but I already know the answer already. And so I just, you know, I've demonstrated that in the previous video, which is again on Patreon. Basically what you have to do is go to your browser sources. You go to your sources, add a browser source, and then paste and copy the link that you pop out, like we just demonstrated on YouTube. Okay. But of course I wanted to make sure. And so I went ahead to Bing and I just typed in integrated chat overlay, OBS Studio, how to add chat overlay to your stream on OBS shows up. So you can go to login on stream elements. This one's from Dote Sports. Once you logged in, see the streaming tools tab and so on and so forth. I didn't go any further, but if you ever wanted to, you could go and take a look. Okay. And so from this page, just the FAQ on the side, very interesting from Bing, how to move chat window OBS, how to resize chat window using Alt and Shift. Now I realize as well, how to show Twitch chat on OBS. Go to the view tab. Okay. All right. So let's knock off a massive number, again, more stuff that we want to react to. So we were at the very beginning here. Okay. Right from where we left off previously in the other video, we were trying to cover, and let me just get a good feel for the time here. It's like 15 minutes in. It's like, yeah, 15 minutes in. So basically in the previous video, which you can see right here on display, we tried to cover all the different changes and overlays and sources that we've made. So it ends up looking very differently. Here's an example of all the widgets that are showing the backdrop, the new scenes. Okay. So we ended up going through a lot of the interface and a lot of the examples and all the, you know, options that we can click on. So, and one thing I should mention, by the way, we moved the scenes interface down here, right next to the scene transitions in the same area. So that's easy for us to click on and to access on the left-hand side once we move to display panel away. So needless to say, afterwards, we also talked about in that previous video, border overlays. So I want to talk about that right now. We just basically went to Stream Elements and downloaded the borders. So if I click on one of these here, specifically one of the duplicates of the alt red flare type design, you can see here, this is what I use for the display and the Windows scenes. So it's the backdrop, the overlay. Sorry, something in my ear. It's like that swimming sensation of water stuck in your ear. So here's two border overlays that we have basically decided don't need to be seen. So we have turned off viewing. So cam 4:3 dimensions 4:3, right? Toggle visibility on and off. And the same thing with the one down here for the 16:9 cam. Just toggle them off. And of course, if you save it, it will be reflected on your OBS Studio browser source. Of course, I can close it. I don't have any intention of making it invisible. And that's the reason for that is, of course, on OBS Studio, as you can see, I have various widgets here on the side. I mean, not widgets, various sources here on the side that are essentially the downloaded border overlays, which are far more convenient because I can just resize them as is on OBS Studio instead of having to consistently go to Stream Elements and resize it online, which saves us a lot of time. On that notion, we also dropped by, like I said, over to the live stream. This is the previous live stream that was running. Sorry, water in my ear. The stream that was running yesterday that I tried to capture the chat from. So you can see again, bottom right hand side, but the live stream has already ended, so it's not going to pop out. You can see 5 views 18 hours ago. I guarantee you at least 3 of those views are from my own self. So basically we also had, this is very important actually. You take a look over here, this is a live stream from my phone on the side right there. Okay, and what ended up happening is that we had actually transferred a lot of the assets that we had over online our desktop and moved it over from, say, apps like WeChat to some stuff that we thought was very much in sync. For example, these poinsettias over here are from a photograph from one of my team leaders over here, so business team leaders. Down here in the backdrop is just the red lighting, but then down here is also something that was sent from somebody else. So we transfer the assets over to our phone that's running the live stream right now, as well as consistently throughout the day. And we are using that in order to basically broadcast. So there's also some updates to the live stream, not just the videos. So we can knock that off as well. But we went there specifically for the live stream chat. Now, we also have this over here, which is, of course, us going to specifically YouTube Studio. We went there so that we could access the chat. We wanted to see if we could go to the stream, right? Go to the webcam, which I don't want to do that because it's just going to block out. But, you know, have all the details here. I thought that I could use maybe the RTMP key and see if I can copy that and paste it. And that will allow me to get the chat extracted. But then again, that's only for YouTube. I realized immediately that it's still not going to cover the stuff from Twitch or Facebook. It's not going to integrate everything. So fairly useless there. Okay. Anyways, we can close that as well. By the way, there's some scheduled streams here as well. Okay. So we can get rid of that. Studio Gek, we'll get to that in a moment. Okay. And I noticed now, for some reason, I have so much here to cover. Anyways, we also went to Twitch. We wanted to go to Twitch to see if we could get the chat overlay from Twitch and copy and paste it over. We also we failed to do that as well. Again, we mentioned trying to get the chat URL from Prism Live Studio. That's the real important deal here. But YouTube, it only extracts from YouTube. That's our makeshift solution for now. It's just what we have to use because we don't have any better way. And YouTube is better than Twitch because on YouTube, it's synced up with Stream Elements. So Stream Elements has a bot that's running all those messages automated. And I would basically like to add some activity into the chat overlay. So that's basically the only reason why we have Twitch open here. Tried to get the chat overlay from Twitch, but it's not going to compete very well with YouTube. Okay. So last couple of things here. How to get Prism Live Studio chat overlay URL. Again, just trying to search it up. Sorry guys, there's like something in my ear again. Videos how to get Live Studio chat overlay URL, and there's no real solution, honestly. All these are tutorials for new streamers on how to use Prism in general, how to add the chat overlay to Streamlabs, chat overlay to OBS Studio. Most of these things have nothing to do with Prism Live Studio. This one here is only about sound alerts, so overall very disappointing. At the very bottom here, again, just doesn't really answer your question. Prism Live Studio has its widgets and alerts, so maybe that's something that I could search up. Maybe we can go to Bing, in fact, and try to search that up through chat. So, chat overlay, couldn't find a direct answer. Tap on the media overlay, so chat widget, and my studio you should see a URL at the bottom screen. That's the chat overlay URL. Okay. We'll try this on later on in the day, but once this live stream's over. So the last thing we have to do is basically cover the last option that we tried to use, which is we have 4 different multi-stream platforms. It's Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, as well as Afreeca TV. I thought that I could go to Afreeca TV. Of course, that's the, 안녕하세요, 감사합니다. This is basically the Korean platform, pay-to-play technology-based video streaming service, now owned and operated by AfreecaTV.co. Anyways, I can't read any of this, but basically I went there, and you can see I actually streamed there, and there's only like 2 viewers, which are just bots, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of results, I don't know why, but there's live, VOD, post, streamer. You can see here, everything's showing up here are the results of my live streams. Now, usually don't have any viewers. I'm surprised that some of these even have some activity. But the reason why we even went here in the first place is because we wanted to go to access the chat URL. Okay. No results, right? Oh, there are results. Up to a year. Okay, so let's close it, right? Yeah, we do have results here. 4 views, 3 views, 2 views. A lot of these like all very long streams. And okay, so let's get rid of that. So here's the main page on Afreeca TV right here. Surprisingly, there's actually probably a bot, a VVIP, very, very important person, consistently attends my streams for some reason. Has to be, I imagine it just has to be what you call a bot. Over here on the right hand side, I can see that there's 17 views for 2020. That was like 3 years ago during the pandemic, so there's a lot of people going online. But once again, we tried to find the chat and we just couldn't. Even if we did go to RTMP, it'd just be for Afreeca TV. It wouldn't be for the chat. And so it's not particularly useful. Last but not least, we have, of course, more stuff here from Prism Live Studio. Login. Again, trying to log into Prism Live Studio. We want to see if there was a way to access the chat URL directly, but there isn't any solution for that. So I'm going to close that as well. Yeah. Main webpage. We already been through here. Okay, so this is just a mobile website, mobile friendly website. Okay. Wow, it doesn't end. Shit. Can't believe there's still more here. The last 2 tabs here, basically Afreeca TV. A lot of the Korean streamers are switching from Afreeca TV. This was a notice that was over on Afreeca TV. A little pop-up saying, okay, for the record, a lot of the streamers are leaving because of a small platform and heading over to the global platform that is Twitch. And so quite a few Korean streamers from different genres, from Hearthstone, League of Legends, gaming, are moving over. StarCraft Remastered, Korean pros and ex-pros, and they list it all here. The players, Hero, Queen, Best, Snow, Light, Sharps, these are apparently all. And their places internationally on esports as well. So, and then their channels on Twitch and YouTube. So, okay. So we can close that. And last but not least, Twitch itself, this was surprising itself, has... I was trying to see if I could find, once again, the URL on Twitch, right? And turns out that Prism Live Studio has their own bot. That's exactly how they end up posting that our live streams are going live on our live stream through Prism Live Studio. They have their own account. That's a bot that runs and posts notifications on your behalf. So that's finally, last but not least, I think all that we have to cover there. And I was wrong again, because turns out there was one last thing, and we even went to Twitter. So we went to all 5 platforms, even the one that's not running. So Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Afreeca TV, tried to scour for that URL desperately, couldn't find it. We even went to Twitter because we used to broadcast to Periscope. And you can see here, I'm not going to show you the, obviously, the RTMPL kind of stuff. That sounds like it's too important to showcase. But you can see there's an audio codec, audio bitrate, all the settings above there has the stream key and so on and so forth. But I couldn't find, once again, anything that would help me out for the integrated chat, except for this, which I'll try to see if this works when this stream ends, when this video ends. Okay, and so Bing Chat maybe is the last lead I can have. Generate answers for you. I'm sorry I couldn't find a direct answer to your question, but you can try the following steps to get the chat overlay in Prism Live Studio. So open Prism Live Studio in your mobile device, tap on the My Studio button at the bottom of the screen, tap on Media Overlay, select Chat Widget, and you should see an URL at the bottom of the screen. That's your chat overlay URL. Hope this helps. And I wonder where the source is. It seems to be prismlive.com. I don't know if that's actually true. Sorry for the mix-up. I did find something for you. Here you go. So we click on that and we'll see if we can actually get somewhere with this. It might be outdated though. I feel like this is one of those things that is an outdated link. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I can't believe this took another half hour. Almost. Thankfully, we wrapped up before the half-hour mark. And so I'm going to say thanks for tuning in to this very long-winded, behind-the-scenes kind of like research type of video where we tried to find out all we could about integrating a chat overlay. And that's it. So we'll see you in the next one. We managed to knock off, I guess, productivity-wise, about like 12 to 15 tabs. And right now, my most immediate thing is to check out that result. So again, you can check out my socials and so on and so forth. The next video will probably be on Reddit and Discord. So community-oriented, behind-the-scenes video. Peace out.